Hello everyone, I'm Jess Tech, and today we're going to be looking at the 11-inch iPad Pro, the Apple Pencil, and the Logitech case. We're going to start with the iPad itself. Apple always seems to have one of the most satisfying unboxings, don't you think? Okay. I personally got the 512 gigabyte version. Inside the box, we have the iPad itself. We also have some documentation. And stickers, and a how-to guide. We also have a USB-C to a USB-C cable. And we have our power brick. This is 20-watt power adapter. Ooh, that's nice. Nice and shiny. And of course, I went with the silver model. Now, we will be unboxing the Apple Pencil. I like how Apple gives you that easy open tab in just about every single one of their products. Inside the box, we have some more documentation. This tells you how to take off the nibs and replace them, this, that, and the other. Put that back in there. Onto the pencil. Again with the easy opening of the plastic. The Apple Pencil feels really good in the hand. It's got a very good weight to it. Not too heavy, not too light. Feels very solid. Not going to fall off if you shake it because it is magnetic. Now the case. I went with the Logitech case as opposed to the Apple Magic keyboard because I'm around children and I'd rather protect my iPad as best as I can while also keeping its functionality. The keyboard feels really good. It's got a nice cloth-like feel to it without it being too soft. It's very nice. Nice size trackpad as well. This also has a kickstand to it, which is going to be really nice. You stand it up. Also has the connectors, the 3 power connectors that goes into the back of it. This is some documentation to go along with the Logitech case. Here it is put together. Very solid. And the keyboard is removable for all you artists or note takers. Alright, let's power this on, get it set up. Very nice. Hello. Alright, y'all, I'll go ahead and get this set up, and I will be back with y'all shortly. Apple's always put their own silicon inside of their mobile devices, but this year, we get, instead of getting the A15 chip, or whichever one that came next, we are getting the M1 chip. Now, this is the same chip that is also being put into the laptops as well as the Mac Mini and the desktop Mac. I'm very interested to see how Apple decides which direction to go in with this. The finishes for the Pro lineup, both the 11-inch and the 12.9-inch, are silver and space gray. I chose the silver one. I'm partial to lighter colored tech. I really enjoy white PC builds. That's just personal preference. I find that black tech, in my opinion, is just overused and too industrial looking. So for my personal preference, I like to go with white tech because I think it's cleaner and it's more refreshing. It's lighter. It also fits better in lighter spaces. So like say you're in a white home office, like white walls, pastel walls, just white tends to blend in better. Moving on, the 11-inch and the 12.9-inch comes in different storage capacities. Both come with 128 gig, 256 gig, and 512 gig variations, and that comes with 8 gigabytes of RAM. For the first time in a tablet that I'm aware of, they come in 1 terabyte and 2 terabyte variations with a whopping 16 gigabytes of RAM. If you're someone that wants to if you're someone that wants to ultra super proof your tech, the 1 or 2 terabyte configurations are the ones that you'll most likely consider, assuming you have deep enough pockets to afford them. For the 11-inch iPad Pro, you have a size of 9.74 inches by 7.02 inches and a thickness of 0.23 inches. And this weighs 1.03 pounds. That translates to 247.6 millimeters by 178.5 millimeters with a thickness of 5.9 millimeters, weighing in at 466 grams for all of our non-imperial metric users. For the 12.9-inch iPad Pro, you have a size of 11.04 inches by 8.46 inches with a thickness of 1/4 of an inch, weighing it at 1.5 pounds. That translates to 280.6 millimeters by 214.9 millimeters and 6.4 millimeters thick, weighing in at 682 grams. Both size iPads come with 5 microphones, 3 up top, 1 on the side, and 1 on the rear, according to Apple's spec sheet on Apple's website. They also have 4 speakers, 2 up top, 2 on the bottom. You also have a top button. On the back, you have a camera array and the smart connector. On the right side, you have your volume buttons, magnetic connector for your Apple Pencil, and a nano SIM tray. Mine does not have that SIM tray. Don't know why, but it says it's supposed to have it on Apple's spec sheet. Go figure. So, real quick, the reason why I don't have a nano SIM tray is because I have the Wi-Fi model. If I would have went with the cell model, I would have gotten that tray. Back to the video. At the bottom, you have a Thunderbolt USB 4 port. For the display, both the 11-inch and the 12.9-inch iPad Pro have ProMotion technology, a wide color display, P3, whatever that's supposed to stand for, True Tone display, fingerprint resistant oleophobic coating, I probably butchered that, fully laminated display, anti-reflective coating, a 1.8% reflectivity, 600 nits of max brightness, and supports the second generation Apple Pencil. There are a few differences, however, in the 11-inch and the 12.9-inch iPad Pro. The display for the 11-inch iPad Pro is a liquid retina display that is an LED backlit multi-touch display with IPS technology. The 12.9-inch iPad Pro has a liquid retina XDR display that is a mini LED backlit multi-touch display with IPS technology. 12.9-inch iPad Pro also is capable of 1000 nits max brightness full screen and 1600 nit peak brightness HDR. The 12.9-inch iPad Pro also has a 1,000,000:1 contrast ratio. I'm unsure why Apple decided to use two different display technologies here. It could be that they're trying to save money and only introducing the new display technology on the larger model. It could be that Apple had issues with securing the necessary materials to supply both size iPads with the new display technology, or there could be issues with implementing the mini LED into this smaller model. This is all speculation, of course, on my part. The fact of the matter is that the 12.9-inch gets the newer, more cutting-edge display and not its little brother. However, paper specs only go so far. Unless you're comparing apples to apples, pun intended, for everyday use cases, I don't think the average user is going to notice a difference when looking at the 11-inch compared to the 12.9-inch, unless having a bigger screen is more beneficial to your personal workflow. Both sides iPads are equipped with a now infamous Apple M1 chip. This chip is an 8-core CPU consisting of 4 performance cores and 4 efficiency cores, an 8-core GPU, and a 16-core neural engine. Depending on the storage options that you go with, the M1 chip can be equipped with either 8 GB of RAM or 16 GB of RAM. On to the part that no one ever uses, the camera. I've never heard or seen anyone actually use the camera on the iPad, but we get one, which is nice, I suppose, if you're an Android user like me, or you really want that iPhone camera experience. It's equipped with what Apple calls its Pro camera system, which is a wide and an ultra-wide camera. The wide camera has 12 megapixel. Am I hungry right now? The wide camera has a 12 megapixel 1.8 aperture lens, while the ultra-wide gets a 10 megapixel 2.4 aperture lens and 125-degree field of view. This provides the user with 2 times optical zoom out and a digital zoom up to 5 times. The camera array has 5-element lenses, which is just the wide and ultra-wide I already mentioned. The camera also comes with what Apple claims as a brighter true tone flash. It also has a panorama that goes up to 63 megapixels. It's also equipped with a sapphire crystal lens. Don't ask me what that is because I have no idea. Moving on, we also have an autofocus with focus pixels for the wide camera lens, a smart HDR3, a wide color capture for photos and live videos, lens correction for ultra-wide lens, advanced red-eye correction, photo geotagging, auto image stabilization, and burst mode. The image formats captured on the iPad Pro is HEIF and JPEG. On to another feature that I've never seen in real life, video recording. Both the iPad Pros are capable of 4K video recording at 24, 25, 30, or 60 frames per second, 1080p HD video recording at 25, 30, or 60 frames per second, or 720p HD video recording at only 30 frames per second. Video recording is capable of 2x optical zoom, out, audio zoom, brighter true tone flash, slow motion support for 1080p at 120 or 240 frames per second, time-lapse video with stabilization, extended dynamic range for video up to 30 frames per second, cinematic video stabilization in all formats, continuous autofocus video, and playback zoom, and stereo recording. All video formats recorded are HEVC and H.264. One more camera feature that we get is the True Depth camera. It comes with a 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera with 122 degree field of view 2.4 aperture lens. It's capable of portrait mode with advanced bokeh. I don't know how to pronounce this. Bokeh? Like a bouquet of flowers? I don't know. Depth control. Portrait lighting with 6 effects: natural, studio, contour, stage mono, and high key mono. Animoji and Memoji. Smart HDR3. 1080p HD video recording at 25, 30, and 60 frames per second. Time-lapse video stabilization. Extended dynamic range for video up to 30 frames per second. Cinematic video stabilization for 1080p and 720p. White color capture for photos and live videos. Lens correction. Retina flash. Auto image stabilization. And burst mode. Video calling has the classic Apple FaceTime video. It also has something new called Center Stage. Center Stage is Apple's new camera technology that uses the ultra-wide camera and machine learning to track your position to keep you within frame as best as it can. So if you're someone that likes to FaceTime while moving around, or you have a couple of kids that are doing a Zoom meeting with their class and they're wiggle worms, this might be worth checking out. There are a total of 6 different sensors on the iPad Pro. This is both the 11-inch and the 12.9-inch. There's a Face ID, which is enabled by the True Depth camera for facial recognition. It also allows you to unlock the iPad. It reminds me a little of the Windows Hello feature on laptops that honestly I never used. Face ID also allows you to secure personal data within the apps and make purchases from iTunes Store, Apple Store, Apple Books, etc. There's also a Lidar Scanner. Lidar is an acronym that stands for Light Detection and Ranging. Apple explains that this measures how long it takes for light to reflect back from an object and uses that data to create a depth map for any space that you're in. This is what allows the iPad to give you an immersive AR or augmented reality experience. The Lidar scanner also works with the IPS to more accurately focus on images and videos in low light conditions and is therefore able to reduce the capture time. A single Thunderbolt/USB 4 port is at the bottom and supports charging. DisplayPort. Thunderbolt 3 up to 40 gigabytes per second. USB 4 up to 40 gigabytes per second, and USB 3.1 Gen 2 up to 10 gigabytes per second. The iPad Pro 11 has a built-in 28.65 watt-hour rechargeable lithium polymer battery, while the 12.9-inch has a built-in 40.88 watt-hour rechargeable lithium polymer battery. Apple claims that both models will get up to 10 hours for surfing the web on Wi-Fi or watching a video or watching videos. You're also supposed to be able to charge the iPad via the provided power adapter or a USB to computer. If you're considering a cellular capable model, both the iPads are rated for 9 hours of surfing on the web using cell data. Both the 2021 M1 iPad Pros released with iPad OS 14. Now, why did I choose the 11-inch over the bigger 12.9-inch? Well, there's 3 reasons. 1, I didn't want to wait until July in order to get it in the mail. I personally opted for the education discount. I am an adult. I am in college. Therefore, I am able to get that education discount. So, in order to be able to get the education discount, I had to order it off of Apple's website. I couldn't go to Best Buy and get this because this is just an Apple exclusive. So, when I went to go look on the website, it was either I get the 11-inch model and I would be able to get it May 21st, or I would have to wait all the way to the end of June, maybe the beginning of July, if I were to have ordered the 12.9-inch. Why? I don't know. I guess there's just more demand, which makes sense. So the second reason why I opted for the 11-inch as opposed to the 12.9-inch is that the 11-inch is cheaper by $300. For me, I couldn't justify that $300 price tag for the bigger, more cutting-edge display with only a small handful of upgrades that I didn't need. Number 3. The 11-inch iPad is more portable for me. I can just throw it in my bag and be on my way. I plan on using this as a production and a productivity tool. I'll be testing out LumaFusion, Procreate, Affinity Suite, and many other apps, so make sure you stay tuned for that. I'll also give a full in-depth review of the M1 11-inch iPad Pro after I've used it for some time, so be sure to stay tuned and check that out. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure you give it some love. Also, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the in-depth review that's going to be coming soon. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see y'all next time.